Whiskey, wine and wisdom podcast. Whiskey, wine and wisdom podcast. Whiskey, wine and wisdom podcast. We talk about the good stuff. Knowledge bombs. They're the world's most mediocre hosts.
So mediocre, yeah.
Like heroes in a half shell, but with quotes.
And they're so cool, dude.
When a sober thought breaks through, those whiskey guys run out that road. Whiskey, wine and wisdom podcast. Whiskey, wine and wisdom podcast. There's the second verse. I forgot about that. Oh no.
Oh no.
I better freestyle some good shit and let's flow.
Yes.
I really hope this ends quite soon.
Real soon.
I'm running on fumes. I might need a spoon.
A spoon.
Wisdom podcast. Whiskey, wine and wisdom podcast. Whiskey, wine and wisdom podcast. We don't want that good shit.
Spoon power.
Bindy, crunchy, flippy dips. You good, mate?
I am marvellously, splendiferously awesome. Thank you so kindly.
I also feel that way. Episode 19. We keep doing it. It's yeah.
It's not going nowhere. Not going nowhere, son. Listen to it.
We're stuck here, mate. We're staying here. We're sitting down. We're on a sofa. James is a little worse for wear this week.
A little bit broken.
Broken in absurd ways. He's got his leg looks like if Adrian, no, I don't know. I don't know what that looks like. Rocky's face after Rocky 2. Like,
yeah. I see what you done there. Yeah.
If you put a mouth guard on his foot right now, he would be Rocky.
Yeah.
But he's doing good.
Doing good.
All the good drugs, and he's getting through it. You know?
Yeah. Very swollen, very bad. Lots of hospital.
But enough about your penis.
Oh dear.
Apologies.
That's alright. Yeah, but all good.
Yep.
Which is because of the tablets I'm on, which is why I've had my drink of choice today is, again, I'm going for a virgin cocktail. I'm going for a virgin sex on the beach holding the cranberry.
Incidentally, our word of the day is going to be faggot. So I'm bringing it back.
Stop, Dan.
Sorry. It's a horrible word. I still really like it. It doesn't hear it anymore. I think fag's fine, but faggot's too much. It's too much. I remember going around to friends for dinner, and they served up faggots.
Dr. Brains or something.
I don't know. I never had faggots. I'd never heard that apart from as a swear word. And then they served me, unironically, faggots for dinner. And I was like, the actual fuck? What? And I'm looking at it, I'm like, what could a thing be that you'd call it a faggot? What could it possibly be? And you eat it, you're like, that's just fucking meatball. I don't understand. Like, why do you call them faggots? And they're just in that kind of that funky gravy. But, you know, it's like, you're like, okay, sure thing, buddy.
Yeah. Odd choice.
Odd choice. Anyway, culinary choices aside, episode 19. Oh, I'm drinking, I don't know, some energy crap with vodka in it, because I'm... Vodcat, because, you know...
Oh, classic vodka.
Vodcat, for when you can't afford vodka. Oh, God. I just got this like a litre bottle in the back of my cupboard, so I was like, alright, that's splashing, that'll taste of nothing, and it'll just make me a little bit more, you know, sure. Because my back hurts. I don't have, like, you know, weeping sores, but my back is sore, and that's my cross to bear, and it's a smaller cross, and it's quite easy to bear. But
don't forget your eyes as well. Your eyes are a bit poorly today too.
A bit hay-fever, a bit sniffly, a bit. Oh, have a good time. Oh man, we're falling apart.
Yeah.
But our decrepitude is you know, we're just flapping onto the floor like an overcooked bit of meat, falling off the bone. You know, if it was dinner, you'd smile, but when it's your body, it's just less good, isn't it?
That's weird. That's weird imagery. I'm not going to sleep well tonight.
No, my flesh. Okay, this week was weird. We did fucking super animals and famous mentals, famous crazy people, and I also appreciate, as I was doing it, I was like, all right, crazy people. It's a subjective term. People who are famous for something, but also have I don't know, non-neurotypical. No, because it makes it sound medical. I don't know. Oh, they're fucking crazy. They're crazy people, right? They have crazy, and it's not about judgment. It's not about being mean. I'm not laughing at them. I'm just saying, when they have this level of idiosyncrasy, I don't know.
Idiosyncrasy.
Idiosyncrasy. Thank you, James.
no, shit, dog. I actually said a big word.
You said a big word correctly and fast, and you slipped it in, made me look like a right dum-dum. I love doing that.
Yeah.
I'm such a prick. I sometimes correct you when you're saying it right. I'm just like... I correct people wrong all the time. They say that and I'm like, oh, you mean pastis. Like, it's pastel, right? I'm like, no, it's French. You have to pastel. They're just like, well, I didn't realise that. I'm like, no, it's not true. I'm like, oh. They're like, why do you even speak? I'm like, I don't know. Got to make some noise, otherwise, just consign me to the grave. But anyway, rock, paper, scissors, 1, 2 spaff.
Okay.
Bringity, truth them. Now, you said once you work me out, you'd be crushing me every week.
Yep.
Are we there yet?
Yeah.
So it's definitely time.
Today is week 1 of the downfall of Dan.
Look at me. I'm going to tell you. I'm telling you with my eyes what's going to happen. Okay. All right. Do you know what's going to happen?
You're lying to me. I saw what you put in your eyes.
Okay.
That's not what's happening.
Look at my eyes.
Yeah.
I'm transmitting to you right now with my thoughts.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. You got it?
I got it.
All right. You know what I'm doing?
Yeah.
1, 2 spaff. You ready?
Yep. 1, 2. See, I thought I'd match you.
Every week, scissor for scissor. All right, go on. That was scissor for scissor and now paper for paper.
And now rock for rock. Ready?
Rock for rock.
Oh, I thought I'd let you have that one because.
Oh, you let me have it.
Yeah.
I've done you again. That's what's that, like 4 weeks in a row.
More than likely.
I'm having a bit of a run right now. I regret nothing. I will destroy you, boy. All right, so
for everyone who didn't see that, because you can't. I just had 3 sessions of really strong looks into your eyes. I feel like I know you now.
It's beautiful, man. It's beautiful. It's beautiful, bish. All right, so this is people who are famous for one thing. They're not famous for being crazy, but they are crazy. Charlie Chaplin. Okay. Now, have you watched? Oh, there's a famous speech he did. It was during Brexit or something when he was talking about basically not being a Nazi. It was the anti-Nazi speech at the end of one of his 1941 film. What was it called? He basically in the film he goes to Germany and because he's got a Hitler tash, they all think he's Hitler, and he ends up going up at like Nuremberg and they. And he goes and does the rally, and he just has this big speech where he tells everyone, and it's a really good speech. So it's really like give you goosebumps. And I was like, oh mate, the guy's so anyway. There you go. Fantastic artist, entertainer, like no other in his time. He was the most famous person in the world for like a straight decade. Silent films are still spoken about by cinema lovers, but he's very weird. He's a weird guy. He hated children, like hated children. He used to throw custard pies at naked women. He used to like hire people and he'd throw naked custard pies at them. And he was also the inventor of the casting couch. You know what that means now, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He would audition actresses by making them strip. And he would mime fondle them before throwing custard pies at them.
Jesus Christ.
For no reason, he just really liked the control, I guess. I also gather, I think he married, I think it was a cousin, but she was underage. He married someone who was very incredibly, by today's standards, I think he was like late 20s and she was like early teens. It's fucked up. So, yeah, I mean, fucking weirdo in many ways. But he did do a nice speech once.
Yeah.
You know? So, there you go, Charlie Chaplin. That's my out the gate famous person. Give me some crazy animal facts, you beautiful slag.
So I've started off. No, I'm stopping. No more sows.
So
prick. So, oh my god! Instantly. Okay, when I knew that my my chosen subject is the animals and their superpowers.
Yes.
You think, oh, I've got to do some research.
No, you just cheated, didn't you?
I didn't. Kind of. Little sister, who works with animals, who knows lots of things about animals. I'm going to do this on the podcast next time. Let me help you. Next thing, a bombard of all sorts of links and stuff comes through. Yeah, you legend.
So that's not. I don't have a. I don't have a family member that works with crazy people, right? I don't have Uncle Jim who works at the insane asylum. I don't have that.
What about cousin Gary Busey? Have you not got him?
Cousin Gary Busey. Come play with Gary Busey. He's a crazy. He's got a lot of teeth, that guy.
Yeah, he has a lot. But
I think he found Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was in the garden the whole time.
Hiding.
No one else can see him. It's
Yeah.
just like, I found Jesus in my garden. Yeah, okay.
That's like cheating the Where's Wally, isn't it?
Yeah.
I found him. I'm not going to tell you where though.
Yeah.
So this bird is a secretary bird or security. Yeah, secretary bird. Yeah, secretary bird. I did say it right.
Secretary bird.
Yeah.
Okay.
And its superpower is just honestly
Note taking.
just stompy power.
It stomps.
It's so watch that film, like Boy Kills World.
Yes.
There's
Yeah.
some horrible stuff in there.
Yeah,
There's
it's
sort of
great.
like head explosions and stuff. Yeah.
Explosions.
Secretary birds, they frequently kick and stomp on their prey's head until it's killed or incapacitated.
That'll do it.
Yeah. Particularly when dispatching large lizards and venomous snakes. The consequences of a misstrike when hunting venomous snakes can be deadly. So the kicking strikes of the secretary bird requires fast yet accurate neutral control. So basically it's superpower just like stomping the crap out of vases. And it's
She stamps fuck us to death.
yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, like a scouser, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah, okay, I've seen it, haven't I?
If anything, the secretary bird's actually developed that skill from watching Scousers
Yeah.
fighting over chips.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh dear. No. Yeah, so I've gone with that one. That's one of my
That's a good opener. Okay.
Yeah.
On the okay, so my second, Pythagoras.
Oh.
We all know Pythagoras' theorem.
Mm.
The most famous theorem I know. Revered as a famous mathematician and scientist, many don't know, he actually started. He basically got sucked off so much, like psychologically, or intellectually, I should say, that he thought he was all that, to the point that he created his own religion, Pythagoreanism. Okay. And he actually got quite a few followers back in the day, right? Some of the commandments of Pythagoreanism, however, were a bit off, right? Do not, under any circumstances, eat beans, was one of them.
Really? Okay.
Do not walk on highways, they're the equivalent of like the major roads. You weren't allowed to walk on them. You were legally allowed to walk on them, but under the religious laws, like, nope, not allowed to walk on them. Do not step over a crossbar. There seems to be just like a basic structure that was the hearth of most houses. It was really, really weird, like a bunch of really, really weird rules, and I gather it became sort of cult-like, and when he died, people were just like, yeah, no, we're not going to do it anymore. So I imagine, out of context, it's like, okay, years later, he was probably, like most cult leaders, he was trying to get money and get laid. I assume it was just about the pussy, because it always is.
Mm.
It's like every cult comes along on there. It's always like, it's just like, no one else is holy enough. Come over with me. Let's go super holy. I need to bang your wife, and it always ends. It always goes that way. And it's like, how long before it goes? Like you'll think the Jim Jones massacre and all the other cults. It's like, but so like any religion, it's like, it's just if it was still around today, it'd be a religion. But I figure it can't be a religion because it was too short-lived. If Scientology is still going 100 years, that'll be a religion.
Mm.
But at the moment, it's still a cult. I'm sorry, man. It's too new. It's too new. You need the time. You need to chuck a few centuries in for it to be a religion. So, yeah. Crazy.
Dude.
Pythagoras. Bulu.
Right. I'm going to bring out a big gun now
Mm-mm-mm.
because this one was actually pretty cool.
Okay. Number 2.
And this does. I will implore you to go onto YouTube or another video streaming service.
Oh,
Bless
shut
you.
up.
And look up this animal once it's done, because it's hard ass. The mantis shrimp. What's that film? Is it the One Punch Man? Is it?
Yeah, what's the show? It's a TV show. One Punch!
The mantis shrimp, superpowered vision and punch. So, the mantis shrimp possesses 2 remarkable superpowers: extraordinary vision and a lightning fast punch. These colourful crustaceans can see a range of colours than any other known animal, including.
Get up, dog.
Oh,
sorry, the dog is just exploding all over the place because he's lying on his back. Sorry, mate.
That's all right.
Yeah, go on. Read your thing.
Including ultraviolet and polarised light. In addition, they have one of the fastest, most powerful strikes in the animal kingdom, capable of breaking through aquarium glass and even the shells of their prey.
Damn, son.
So I watched, when my sister told me about this, I watched a video of this shrimp punching through a clam. And I'm like, what the shit have I just seen? It's just sitting there, it's looking at the clam, it's like, the noise it makes. Honestly, that's...
But underwater as well. Like,
Yeah.
try punching underwater, it's impossible. You're like in slow motion. That's...
And I just thought that was proper
Apparently it's
amazing.
as hard and fast as a bullet from a gun. That's amazing. 60 mile an hour, his punch. Underwater at 60 miles an hour.
Yeah, I know, right?
God damn, Shrimpy.
And it's so determined. I saw another one where it's
They look so pretty. It's
it went,
worth googling. That's. I've just seen a video. That's really worth having a look, guy.
I saw another one. I got a bit sad because it went after a hermit crab and it was chasing, and then the hermit crab sort of went inside its shell, thinking, "Ha, I'm protected now." And then the shrimp was like, "I'm knocking on your fucking door, you bastard!" And then next thing it's like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to take you and eat you now." But the crab was like so sort of done anyway. He didn't even realise. So it wasn't in.
He didn't suffer.
Well, he shut himself 12 times whilst getting knocking on the door, but...
Yeah, but then it was over.
Mm.
Well, if there's any justice in the world, I just googled it and it's come up. They are the preferred food of octopuses.
Yeah.
Octopuses love to eat them.
And octopuses, they punch fish sometimes as well.
Do they really? I thought that's more for slapper, aren't they?
Yeah, Snap or something. Katie sent me a video, and there's like an octopus just there, and a fish is walking by. Bloody hell! A fish has just poked his head in the camera, and then the octopus went, "Fuck you!" So a little quick slap. Yeah, yeah. One punch fish.
One punch fish. Love it. All right. Ballpoint.
Parker.
Stedler.
Fountain.
Pens.
Clicky pens.
Here at the Pen Barn we sell pens of all types,
Yeah.
all flavours, all colours, all lengths. Pen Barn.
You sell any pencils?
No! Of course I don't fucking sell any fucking pencils.
Oh, okay.
Pen Barn! Pens! Only pens! Only pens! We only sell pens!
Only asking.
Just pens!
Just asking.
Fuck! Okay.
Cool.
Okay. I may have dealt with some hiss. If not, then, fuck you. Okay, I'm back on fact number 2. Number 2. So this is... No, 3. This is number 3. Alright. Nikola Tesla.
I know them.
Yeah, you know them. Now, everyone knows what a genius Tesla was and how, even though he was a true visionary, he never got his due while he was alive. He was also fully mental, right? He had crazy OCD. He was an extreme germaphobe. He refused to touch anything that was a little bit dirty, and he also wouldn't touch anything that was round in shape. Okay? He was in love with the number 3, like, it aroused him. He would walk around 3 times around the block of buildings before he'd enter his house or his place of work. He had to walk around a block of wherever he was 3 times. He would only stay in hotel rooms that were divisible by 3. He would require 18 napkins per meal, 3 stacks for 6. He, a little side thing as well, after he built a high frequency oscillator, he invited Mark Twain, because Mark Twain was having bowel problems. He told Twain to stand on the machine, and he allowed 90 seconds to pass, again because it was divisible by 3, and turned it off, and that was exactly the point when Twain ran to the bathroom because he apparently vibrated. And he also married a pigeon. Not legally, because, I don't think they'd approve of that. But yeah, he would always claim that he shook the poop out of Mark Twain. That was his claim to fame, apparently. But yeah, no, he fell in love with a pigeon, and he claimed that he'd married a pigeon.
I wouldn't expect that from...
No, he's very smart man. He also, for all the stuff that he did invent a bunch of shit that was just fully mental, crazy shit. He created this form of electricity that was going to be just like wireless electricity, across the world. So you would never know the wires; it would just transmit everywhere. But the thing is with that, he tested it, and it basically would just, if you send electricity from A to B, everything between A and B will be destroyed by electricity. It's unless you're in such high, because the really high frequency, you think radio waves, for example, they're so low power that you can't charge anything off the radio waves because it's so weak. But if you had these microwaves or something, you started transmitting microwaves, which was this theory for a while. It's just completely bollocks. It wouldn't make any sense. But he thought that was the thing he was obsessed with up until his dying day. He was obsessed with transmitting wireless power across the world, but it just is. It's impossible. Because it's if you want to I want to receive it, I'll have a receiver over here, and there's a transmitter over there, and you walk between those 2 points, you'll be destroyed by all the electricity that's flying through the air, because it has to go somewhere. It's a straight line, mate. So yeah, genius, but kind of mad.
Fruit
Loops. Yeah.
Oh, very nice. This is just a small one. Again, a visual one, which I implore you to look at.
Google it while you do it. That was really interesting last time.
Well, mantises, it's just how they look, basically.
Manti?
Yeah, we'll go manti. So we was looking at some of them.
Praying mantis, or?
No. So the first one, the orchid mantis.
Oh, okay.
It's just have a look what it looks like. It looks like a flower, and it changes legs to petals.
Oh wow!
And it purely disguises itself, so it's pink and pretty, like an orchid. And then you've got the dead leaf mantis, which looks like a brown leaf. Yeah, they're those crunchy ones that you see on the floor, with bits taken off it and stuff. And it's just the way they different types of disguise themselves. And what was the other one? Now this is the coolest one. The wandering violin mantis. It looks like a violin.
Yeah.
So the first one, the orchid mantis, disguises itself like a plant because it's in the wild. It's a plant. Oh Jesus Christ! There's a mantis in our current studio on Dan's.
Yeah. Anyway, I got it. Yeah.
So the orchid mantis looks like a pretty flower.
Yeah.
Disguises itself to hide from things and can do its attacks. In the wild, makes sense. The dead leaf mantis again hides in the wild. It can attack things. It can hide from its prey. Again in the wild. The wandering violin mantis, because how else are you going to hide in the wild unless you look like a violin?
Oh yeah, no. I thought I saw something, just a violin. There's violins everywhere.
Yeah, but it looks like a little broken violin. But honestly, it's just mental to see when was it? E-I-O-L-I-N-A-N-T-I-S.
I'm googling it too. I want to see a violin mantis. Well, that is an ugly piece of shit, isn't it?
Yeah. Look. It's like I'd play it, and then
Well, it's like a violin. It looks like just a pile of old leaves and some sticks.
it's
That is a really wandering violin mantis for sale. Oh, fuck off!
oh dear.
Oh God, there's a praying mantis like fan website. Oh God, that's. Don't collect insects, you weird bastards. No, £10 each.
Yeah, that's a violin on a stand.
Gongulus gongoloids. That's the name, Latin name.
Yeah, violin on a stand weighing.
I
I don't know.
I can't see it.
I just think it's weird, and it's the way they look. They're just proper mental how they disguise themselves and how they naturally all change. So yeah, Mantis' superpowers, they can just hide in music shops and
Yeah, just general like theatres and stuff. You're like just in the pit. Like, what is that? I'm not here. Oh, okay. No.
I always thought it's been watched from it to sounds perfect looking at violins.
Yeah, that's it. It's like, do you ever feel like the instruments are looking back at you? Oh, you crazy man, you crazy. I don't know what noise they make. I don't know. That was
No, that's that sounds like, again, I've mentioned it before. My brother used to play the violin. If he didn't resin up the bow, he'd done some squeaks, and that sounded a bit like that sometimes. Yeah, facted. So I've got a nasty one which I need to get into. I can't do it just yet though. But yeah, all yours.
Okay, cool.
I'll get some cocktail.
Get some what?
Some my cocktail.
Oh yes, your. Alright, so what to? I did. Benjamin Franklin.
Benjamin Franklin was a rebel indeed. He used to get naked while I smoked on a weed.
He was a puffhead. That was one of the things. But if you're in America, I apologise because you have this drummed into you as a child. But we don't know nothing about him except that he was actually a big fan of London. He was in there a lot, and in fact, very recently, they dug up his cellar in the place he used to stay in London, and they found 14 dead bodies buried in the cellar.
Jesus.
14. Double digits, I can't remember. Anyway, that might come up in this, but anyway. One of the founding fathers, I'm getting more weird than that. That was just, he used to love doing autopsies, like he did, because he was scientific, he was scientifically curious.
Yeah.
So I don't believe he was like some weird serial killer, but maybe, who knows. Anyway. But one of the founding fathers of the United States, an author and a host of other important things. He was inventor, he was all kinds of stuff. He was a very smart guy. He was one of the visionaries of the time. One of the leaders of the so-called Enlightenment of the time. Anyway, he also had quite a weird fetish. I don't know if you call it that really these days, but he was a big fan of gilfs.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. He is a granny I'd love to. I don't know. I'm sorry. I've been swearing the whole time. Granny I'd love to fuck. That's what it's for.
Ooh,
I'm sorry.
Do we need to beat
But
that out?
he loved to have sex with old ladies, really old ladies. Older the better, right? Was quite brazen about it. He wasn't shy about that. He would talk about it. He said he once wrote, "In all your amours, you should prefer old women to young ones, because there is no hazard of children, which irregularly produced may be attended with much inconvenience, because through more experience they are more prudent and discreet in conducting an intrigue to prevent suspicion, and lastly, they are ever so grateful." Can you get him away from baseline? That's right. But yeah, crazy fucker. But yeah, apparently he just used to bang about and just loved slinging it to really old ladies that he couldn't get pregnant. Which is weird because he was at a time when he was so famous he probably could have even being an old wizened dude, he probably could have got what he wanted. But it was he liked what he liked. Fair play.
Yeah.
And that's just aside from all the dog's being a douchebag now. His creations, inventions, and discoveries. But yeah, Ben Franklin.
Some people like mild cheese, some people don't. Just saying, some people like.
So you're drawing a corollary between mild cheese and granny fucker. You're drawing a line.
He obviously liked the mature cheese more, and
So now you're thinking in terms of age of mild cheese is like children. Is that what you're saying?
oh no,
I mean, like immature cheese is like. I'm trying to understand what you're getting at, mate.
Do you know what? If I knew, I would explain. But I'll let the Stanley dog out.
Thank you, mate. Dog has to get out every now and then. He'll be back in 5 minutes, I have no doubt. I'll top up my drinking with my vodka. The good thing with vodka is it's so rough that you'll definitely, even if you only have a little bit, you'll definitely feel it tomorrow. It's not got the smoothness of vodka, nor does it taste anything like vodka. It's just clear like vodka, and only get you somewhat trashed in a way that's similar to vodka. But
yeah,
go on, animal me, learn them, bring them, noise them.
So this starts off as a non-animal.
That's not what the brief is, mate.
Wow.
I'll listen. I'll let you know my thoughts afterwards.
The fungus Orthocordyceps
Yes.
Camponoti Fordani.
Oh yeah.
You standard, yeah.
Yes. Oh, that one.
Yeah. Can infect ants and manipulate their behaviour in a way that is beneficial for fungus growth and transmission. These infected ants are also called zombie ants.
Zants.
Oh, Zants, yeah. So basically, it's with Spider-Man. Oh, I get bit by a spider. So I got bit by a spider. Radioactive spider. I'm now Spider-Man.
Yeah.
These ants are like, oh, I've just ingested some of that fungus. Now I'm zombie ants.
Yeah.
And so these infected ants are also called zombie ants. Zants. Influenced by the fungus, the ants climb to a high point and bite onto a branch, attaching themselves until death. I thought that's just odd.
Have you seen it?
I've seen pictures of what it looks like standing.
Because the reason they clamp on is because when they go into like rigor and they hang on to the branch and they're dead.
Yeah. And
then the fungus just uses their body to grow as tall as possible so that it can spread its spores as far as possible.
Right.
And it's incredibly fucked. Fungus is freaky, man. Like fungus is one of these things we don't really understand. There was some scientist talking about how fungus was. You saw The Last of Us, right?
No.
Oh, James.
I think that's a series one, isn't it?
Yes, it is, James.
No, we did start watching it. We got a little way through.
So there's a speech at the beginning where he's explaining how fungus. But that's based off an actual speech by the scientist explaining how the big concern he had wasn't with a virus, it wasn't with any of these things because we can counter that. But there's no getting around fungus. The way that it works is just like, well, no. But there's a similar fungus like that one that goes into I think mice and rats and rodents and stuff. They can get it, and it makes them sexually attracted to cat urine. Like it literally, yeah. So they just, but that's how it gets itself into the cat's system.
Yeah.
So like it will make like the mouse will go and it's like, ooh, what can I smell? And it literally is reacting like it would to some like crazy horny pheromones or something. Yeah. It will go after cat piss. The cat will go, what's this mouse? I'm trying to have a piss, and it's like this mouse comes out. So he eats the mouse, and then the fungus gets into the cat.
Mate.
So it just transmits itself. It's like this is some weirdly clever, nasty shit. But it's it's fascinating stuff. Ooh, yeah. We're all doomed.
Yeah.
So I kicked the table.
Oh no.
Last of Us will happen though. We're screwed. So everybody.
I think we did start watching it. We were really enjoying it, but then we stopped it for some reason, and then we need to get back onto it again.
It's probably Kate's fault, isn't it?
Yeah, it's always is.
Yeah. I gather so. I mean, it's not like she's got Katie's corner to reply with. Stanley's back.
Stanley,
he went away, now he has returned. James, you can't. I just realised you're crippled. You can't be at the door the whole time. Oh, don't fuck. Oh, right, next time I'll try and get round. Or do you want to swap sides?
I say he wasn't even fucking there then, but that's fine.
Doggo, no, come here. Get away from the laptop.
He's a bit like an Amazon driver then.
Yeah.
There's a knock on the door, but there's no one there.
He says he's done the parcel and he's done the run, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Come on, bellend.
He was like, oh, this thing is yesterday. I heard a knock on the door. I'm sitting next to the door because that's where the sofa is. And I'm not really moving around much. Open the door basically straight away, and he's halfway to his van, and he was shocked to see me open the door. I was like, well, you did knock.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, Zombants.
Zants. Don't like that. Don't like that at all. But, yeah, so... Where was I? So, Michelangelo. Not the turtle.
Oh.
Well, that does tie in with our intro, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, dude.
Dude, totally. Let's have some cheesed pizza.
Oh, dude, cheese pizza.
But, arguably, Michelangelo, the artist, is most known for, well, his art, let's face it, but like...
Yeah.
But he was famously a very difficult person to get on with, and he was threatened with excommunication and death by the Catholic Church when he was working for them. So when he was painting he did the Sistine Chapel, didn't he? I think he did. So when he was painting that, it was several times, because it was taking so long, he got in all manner of shit, and he was put in jail. He'd also get drunk. I mean, all these major artists, they're always kind of a bunch of fuckers out. But he used to work 18 hours a day painting. That was what he did. So he sort of obsessed with what he was doing, but when he wasn't doing that, he was, you think, okay, 18 hours of work.
Yeah.
Now he's going to bed. No, now he's out on the piss, and he's banging anything that moves. And that's what he did. So that's basically how he rolled, and he did it for like 10 years straight. It's crazy. He would sleep in his clothes. He didn't look after himself at all. He very rarely ate. He just used to drink. His assistants say he would go so long without taking his boots off that his skin would come away with his boots when he took them off.
Oh, that's fucking horrible.
Yeah, he said like they regularly referred to him like snake skin.
What they would call, hey Michelangelo, hey snakeskin.
Well, no, they would just refer to his. Oh, he took his boots off, and they'd talk about his skin come off like it was like that of a snake, and he stunk all the time.
Yeah.
And this was like, this is Italy. So he's like, it's pretty toasty a lot of the time.
Yeah.
He's just there like, dude, have a bath. He's like, I don't have time, I have to paint and fuck. But yeah.
Dude.
But yeah. Fun time.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to. I have to say this. I'm too excited to say this one.
Come.
This is weird. It's the way that it was written down as well. Have you heard of the hairy frog?
I have not heard of the hairy frog.
Not one of my uncles. Sorry, but like some people have hair and friends. So yeah. So it's superpower.
Go.
It's self-defense. Breakable bones.
Okay.
The hairy frog, native to Central Africa, has bizarre and gruesome self-defense mechanism. When threatened, the frog can intentionally break the bones in its toes and force them through its skin, creating a sharp makeshift claw to fend off predators. This extreme adaptation demonstrates the lengths to which some animals will go to ensure the survival in the face of danger. So it's like Wolverine, right? But, I've not got that adamantium shit. I'll just use my bones instead.
I mean, so I can see a problem with it, and maybe you thought of it too. So you break your arm. No, he's on all fours, right? So he breaks his leg, and he uses the shard to stab up his, I don't know, something's having a go at him, and they're like, oh bloody hell, and they run off, right?
Yeah.
And then he's stuck on his lily pad with a broken arm. So I presume he can heal up pretty quick.
Do you know what? I didn't think about looking that bit up.
I just feel like that's like such a crap defence when you're like, okay, I could have developed some sort of poison or maybe some sort of, like some sort of venom or something. I could create something. I could develop a way of defending myself that's in some way, like doesn't completely make me defenceless.
Yeah.
Because it's all well and good, like, oh, I fought off that one guy, but now I can't eat anything because I can't walk. I have to wait for 18 months for my leg to knit. You know, it's like, I don't know. There might be a dumb frog. It's pretty metal. I mean, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
You know, if I watched some fucking, you know, hard ass action film and a guy like break his own arm to stab someone with his forearm bone or something, I'd be like, God damn! That would be so metal. That'd be awesome, right?
That's got to be in a film somewhere.
It's
right?
no cheese grater to the armpit, but it's up there.
Dude, that's still so savage. That makes me hurt. Oh, see, even Sandy can't take
Yeah,
that.
no, he doesn't like. He's very against cheese graters. He just wants to eat the block.
Ugh.
But yeah, he's. Yeah, I don't think that's a smart move, frog, hairy frog. Why don't you just make your hairs like poisonous? Then no one will eat you. They go, oh, he's poisonous, or he's bright pink or something. Oh, don't mess with him. He's bright pink. He must be poisonous. And he's like, I'll break my fucking arms and legs and stab you up. And you're like, what's wrong with you? Fucking have you? I don't know why. I don't know why all animals that are hard are scousers, but they just are.
It makes sense because you get that Scottish stereotype is like you're not going to mess with them. I mean, look at Liam Neeson. I'll find you. I got a particular set of skills. And obviously that's the meek and mild mannered. Once he's had a drink, obviously, I'm gonna freak you bastard.
He just runs around and loves potatoes, people. Just very good with it. Like, you can break your arm with a potato, ironically. It's just oh dear. James Watson. Now.
Related to Emma?
No. Oh, bloody hell. Never got that girl. Anyway, honestly, I just see her.
Had a good hit.
She looks exactly like Justin Bieber.
Baby,
she just looks like Justin Bieber, and I don't understand. I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. The word floats by, it's fine. Just don't want to bang Bieber. It's fine. James Watson was the guy. He won Nobel Prize for discovering DNA. Right. So in the grand pantheon of, like, you know, historical scientists, he's up there, right? You really should think about him in the same breath as like Oppenheimer and Einstein. He really did. He was a big boy in the scientific community. Crazy intelligent, considered the smartest man of his day, and a massive racist, massive piece of shit. Like, he discovered DNA. He knows genetically. He understands how all humans are related, right? He knows that. He's the guy that discovered it. But he also believed and pushed out the information, like he made a big point of it, that Africans are inherently less intelligent than whites. So if you come from Africa, you're going to be less smart than that. And he tied it into DNA. And there's still people today that cite his science from back, well, like when he's like, this is in the 50s, right? Some of his papers and stuff, and then they cite him as a source for why racism is like, that's their way of justifying it.
Yeah.
So sometimes, like, it's not the same him saying it as some redneck piece of shit saying it, because his what he says has weight. So him saying it was so much worse. But yeah, it's just like, And it wasn't just Africans. He basically argued that there was a pecking order. It was very similar to some of the stuff that you'd hear from like Nazis. Like, they just had this, like, okay, these guys are better than these. He rated them, like, so okay, people from this area, they're more intelligent than these people and all this. And then obviously we know full well that that's like, you can't base intelligence on origins. Like, there's obviously genetic components. Some people are just, every now and then you have, like, you'll see some family and, like, okay, that kid's smart and that kid's just nowhere near as smart as that. There's some, like, bright kid, Lisa Simpson, right?
Yeah.
You'll see some family and they got, like, a Lisa Simpson. You're like, how did that happen, right? Because they, you have to assume the same basic conditions were in place for them. And it's like, no, sometimes there's just the genetic luck of the draw. But he was just like, nope, none of that. It's no, Africa's bad, white's good, and I mainly know white people and I track. I mean, like, it's a skewed perspective, but the dumbest people I've ever met have been white. So I don't know, man.
I think it's a shame when you can go, this person, he's done one of the greatest creations or theories ever known to humankind, And when you have to finish off that sentence with, "But he's a big old racist," that's just, come on.
Bit of a bummer.
Mm.
Bit of a bummer.
Bit of a bummer.
Yeah.
Oh.
Dickhead. But the important thing is he's dead now.
Yeah. Cool. Right. Let's have a look. Again, superpowers.
Superpowers, yep.
Again, the one that I originally thought came to my mind when I was thinking of this category was the flying squirrel.
I thought the same exact thing. That's the first thing I thought of too. Because they can fucking fly.
Is it a bird? No. Is it a plane? No. It's a squirrel. What's it going to do? Grab your nuts and put in its mouth.
I've got a side fact about squirrels, but go on.
That'd be cool. The squirrels, they can do that little flying thing, but the facts, because I wanted to try and find something else differently, and this makes sense. Squirrels can see in 360 degrees without moving its head.
Wow.
Yeah, I know, right?
That'd drive you mad, wouldn't it? You see everything all the time.
Yeah.
There's no sneaking up on a squirrel.
No.
I see you. You're trying to steal my nuts, isn't you? What you doing?
Don't you go sneaking over that, you know.
Don't you try and hide behind my bushy tail.
So, with eyes high on each side of the head, squirrels can see everything around them without having to turn around. Giant jumping powers. They've also got giant jumping powers as well. With super padded feet, squirrels can jump as high as up to 6 meters without hurting themselves.
Skills.
So 1, they can fly. 2, they can do monster jumps.
They can jump 6 meters.
6 meters up.
That's so high.
Yeah.
That's so fucking high. One more time. That's 6 meters.
More than 5.
That's so high.
Yeah.
Good God.
Taller than me.
It's taller than everyone. That's the tallest thing I've ever heard. Someone jumping. Bloody squirrels.
You've got to think, if that was put into proportion, let's say a squirrel's now human size and he transfer. I mean, that would be miles.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Or at least mile.
I don't have the maths to hand, but yeah, definitely miles.
Yeah.
Possibly space.
And back.
And yeah, definitely obviously back, which would be fine because you could land because you have squirrel powers. Yeah, okay. They're better than us, let's face it.
And as they're coming down, they can glide with their flying powers.
We should just give them all of our nuts and just give up.
There's no hope.
We can't compete with that.
No.
Fuck.
So, big eyes, flying.
Humanity's over.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, that was a good fact, mate.
Thank you.
Bit depressing because, Oh yeah, and my side fact.
Yeah.
I heard this isn't standard routine, but I did Google it afterwards, and it seems to be true. So, on average, squirrels bury nuts, right? They hide nuts, they bury nuts. They do it all throughout the year. They only eat a small percentage of the nuts they find, and they hoard them, right? Okay. They mostly bury them. They don't find 99% of all the nuts they bury.
Wow, okay.
That's where trees come from. They plant trees. They are just pre-programmed little botanists. They go around, they plant trees, and then they go like, "Where's all of our seeds gone?" Because that's what they are. They're just planting seeds, and they're like, "I'm going to eat seeds later," and they're like, "I forgot what they are. Fuck." And then more trees sprout up, chucking out more seeds, which they go and bury and make more trees. And I'm like, God, clever. It's like, I mean, they're dumb idiots, so they're just like, I'm so hungry all the time. You're like, it's because you planted all these trees. But that's why there's trees.
And
they're great.
That was actually, boy, it was smart to my face.
It chuckles me. It tickles me. I find that really funny because a part of them is like, you dumbass, you stupid idiot. You're like, all your food, you hide it in the floor and you can't find it. You forget where it is. And then I'm like, oh, okay, there's whole forests that are only there because you forgot what your dinner was. And that is hilarious. That is fucking brilliant.
What's for tea? I don't know. I'm not known forever.
Eat a tree.
Yeah.
Eat a fucking tree. my father's father made this forest, and I don't know where dinner is. All right. Okay, that was your Sorry, I didn't mean to chuck facts on your facts, but
No,
I waited
was
till you
decent.
finished. I got better. I waited till you finished at least, because I wanted to say that at the beginning about squirrels, and I didn't, because I'm becoming better.
You're learning. Cool.
Thank you for adding to that.
Yeah.
All right, Winston Churchill.
Oh yes.
the man, not the dog, but good job.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
So right, we ignore the fact he's one of the most respected leaders of the 20th century. He was a fucking mentalist, right? So there's so many people who especially now with this ultra nationalistic view, all the Farage wankers, and they love Winston Churchill. He's their go-to guy. He's the to make Britain great guy. He's that guy. He's like, oh yeah. And the thing is, right, you have to understand, even then, he ran the country during the war. Immediately after the war finished, he was voted the fuck out, by a tidal wave of people. They never wanted him in power. And this is just the average punter, right? So he was not revered then, and he never got back into the seat. It wasn't like it wasn't because he wasn't trying. It was just no, people really wanted him to fuck off. He nearly lost the job several times while he was there anyway. Anyway, but he was also full on nut job. He would parade around his office naked. He would take all his meetings in his bath. If you look at his drinking routine, the guy was an unbelievable pisshead. He spent all day drinking. I'll Google it in a second. I'll read it off because it's hilarious. Both Franklin D. Roosevelt and his son Elliot are known to have met Churchill, who was just hanging out with just a robe with his dick hanging out and all that. So the President of America and his son come over to meet him, and he's there with his tackle hanging out in just a robe. Apparently Elliot, as Roosevelt's son, Elliot Roosevelt, walked into Churchill's office one day to find him standing completely naked, smoking a cigar, while dictating a letter to his secretary, who was completely used to it. This was a male secretary, because all the female secretaries had quit because they wouldn't work with him.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm going to read off his drinking routine.
Breakfast, whiskey. Brunch, vodka. Lunch, some for comfort. Dinner.
Is it routine? I've saw this before.
Routine.
So people do this every now and then. This is they basically they'll spend one day drinking like Churchill. So this is Churchill's routine, and this apparently was the same every day, work day or not, right? 7:30, wake up, remain in bed, eat breakfast, read newspaper, work, glass of whiskey and soda.
Okay.
That was brought to him in bed at 7:30. 11 o'clock, out of bed by this point, stroll around the garden, supervising his estate, whiskey and soda.
Okay.
So 1 o'clock, multi-course lunch, imperial pint of champagne. 3:30, work from study, glass of cognac, because it's the afternoon now.
Yeah.
5 o'clock, hour and a half nap / siesta. Apparently he acquired that habit during his time in Cuba, so he has a little nap. So from 5 till 6:30 he has a nap. 6:30, wake up, bath, dress for dinner. 8 o'clock, lengthy dinner with guests, imperial pint of champagne to wash it down. Midnight, after his long dinner, midnight, working study, more cognac, and then he has a quick shot before bed at between 1 and 3 o'clock when he goes to bed.
Dude.
Guy was a bit of a mentalist.
Yeah.
And also, right, when he passed away, because he was quite a racist as well. He was a pretty bad. And for example, when there was the famine in India, and we ran India at the time, and they were saying, dude, you can't take all the, because they used to grow a lot of crops for the UK, for England at the time, and they shipped them over, and this was during a time when they were they need this to survive, and he was like, nope, we need it more, fuck them. And he there's a couple of quotes that were just horrendously racist about basically just letting the kids die in the street and all this sort of shit.
Jesus.
And he just he just thought they were lesser people. He just thought they were pieces of shit. It was pretty old school. Better us than them. Fuck them, sort of. But the people who champion him today, and this is a weird thing, right? And I found this out, and I'm like, why isn't this taught? This isn't. When he died, he converted to Islam. Right?
Yeah.
So Churchill, the famous British dude, he not only had major problems, he basically identified as an atheist a lot of his life, and in his final years he converted to Islam, and his family were literally like, they thought, oh, Islam's got their hook in him, and they were very much against him doing that. And he also wanted to write an autobiography, which they tried to shut down. Like, his family didn't want it put out there because they want to ruin his legacy. Because even then, Islam was not thought of as Muslim people were not thought of as, it still wasn't a good thing. Today it's far more contentious. There's more stuff, more stuff has happened. But even then, it was like, it was very much not the way that a fine English gentleman would sort of conduct themselves. So fascinating, but interesting. That wasn't a kind of, I'm not saying that's a quirk or anything, I was just like, that's just one of the interesting things, but just, I find it odd that the people who champion him, they must not know that, because or they just don't want to know that. There's no way Farage is like saying, he was a great British man and and a Muslim, but no, they're definitely not thinking that. But yeah,
did not know any of that. Wow.
Yeah, you're walking down that street,
but
oh no, you done a little piss. Pissed all down yourself, haven't you? But don't worry, Pampers Adults got you covered.
Pampers Adults.
Wear a man nappy, don't feel crappy.
Don't be crappy.
Pampers Adult
Pampers Adult
leaves you
nappies.
fresh.
So fresh.
Shall we look about the Bombardier Beetle?
I think fuck you finally brought it up, mate. I've been thinking about it the whole night.
Oh dear,
The Bombardier.
Bombardier Beetle
Okay, go sorry.
with explosive defence.
Poo?
Oh, it had a diced curry. Had a diced burrito on his lunch break.
Bombardier.
The Bombardier Beetle possesses a unique and highly effective defence mechanism. The ability to shoot boiling hot, noxious chemicals from its abdomen at any potential predators.
Nice. Good job. Good job.
This remarkable chemical reaction, which occurs in a specialist chamber within the beetle's body, produces a scalding spray that can deter even the most persistent attackers. The Bombardier Beetle's explosive defence is an impressive example of evolution's ingenuity in the face of danger. So it's making all that boiling hot, bad, horrible stuff inside it, and it's just going to piss it out all over you. Just stay away from me. Yeah, I thought that was pretty superpower wise. That's pretty superpowerish.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, that's. I mean, it's not a good X-Man, but it's definitely, it would make interesting. It probably is an X-Man. Does that actually?
Trying to think.
Not a good one, but like a C tier one. I could just shoot that noxiously hot, gooey crap out of my bits.
What if it could break its toes and force it through its skin, and it's going to spray you with hot stuff, and then while you're scalding on the floor, it will kick you in the face with its bone claws, and then you're done. And then it will look at you and spit, you're done. You've been bombarded, bitch.
Yeah. I'm the goddamn Bombardierine. Bombardine.
Oh, its name is Dean.
Yeah.
Bombardine Beetle. What are you doing here, Bombardine? Oh, it's been a hard day. I've been making stuff and...
Making gravy. Hot, noxious gravy from my tummy. I'm gonna shoot on you if you don't get out of my way, boy. I'm sorry, sir. I'm right away, sir.
Oh, with this, that Scottish is creeping back in again.
Possibly.
Right.
Good.
Yeah, that's that little fact done.
Salvador Dali
Oh, how can he be crazy? He only does
I
normal
know.
things.
He just screams common sense.
Yeah.
But no, obviously, surreal paintings, you look at him, you think, I bet the guy did that's mental. And you wouldn't be far off wrong. Then you'd see him and you meet him and you'd see he has this crazy mustache and you go like, oh, he's a fucking lunatic, right? There we go, there's a photo.
Oh yeah, standard. I remember that.
Yeah, so he's got his big twirly mustache right up to his eyes. He looks like a fucking loony, right? Anyway, he used to think he was possessed. He'd walk around, think he was possessed. Like a lot of the artwork he did, he didn't take credit for it because he thought he'd been possessed, and that's like they were working through him. In 1947, he got a guy named Gabriel Maria Baridi to perform an exorcism on him. And Baridi's fee was a crucifix sculpture made by Dali himself. So he just paid him with this piece of art because he's like, this guy's lunatic. I'll play along. I'll get this piece of art off him, and then he sold it.
Yeah.
But yeah. Obviously, he'd like all kinds of weird relationships with people, sexual and otherwise, and he was just a fucking like. Well, he's one of these people you just meet like, oh, he's just a crazy eccentric dude. You're like, okay, like Andy Warhol. It's just like a full-on like, I'm an artist. You're like, okay, sure. I don't think you get away with it these days. If you're like a crazy artist now, like you got to be like, you can't go with it, right? No. Like if you were Banksy and he was like, I am Banksy, I am an artist, I am he's like, fuck off, Banksy. You wouldn't put up with it. No one's put up with that shit now. Back in the day, you could you had a bit of money and a bit of credibility. People were like, oh, he's a fucking genius. You leave him alone. A cult of people dragging around with you, Although I think nowadays the fashion wankers are like that. Like before Kanye West went full on like Jew hater, he would just go around and he made most of his money out of like, fashion, didn't he?
Yeah.
Because all of his I've got my stupid trainer, my Yeezy trainers.
No, that's like dickheadish.
They look like the most ugly piece of shit ever. And I'm like, oh, you got the new Yeezys like £500, £600 each. You're like, what the fuck? Baffling to me. And like, are they really good? I'm like, no, they look nice, I guess. I'm like, they don't. They look like tumours on your feet. They look the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. But anyway, so it was a different time. In conclusion, so yeah, Salvador Dali. Back to you. Let's get some more Beetle squirts. What have you got?
Beetle squirts.
Beetle squirts. Beetle squirts. Beetle squirts.
Don't know. You said it 3 times.
Hello there. How you doing, buddy? Hey.
That just happened.
I can't do a very good Beetlejuice. I'm sorry.
It wasn't too bad. I knew who he was going for.
Yeah, I know.
I wasn't expecting this when I was looking things up. But platypus.
Ah, platypus.
You think, what's their superpower? They're a duck. No. They're a fish. No. Did you know that the platypus has venom?
Yeah, it's great, isn't it?
I did not realise that. So the platypus, electroreception and venom. The platypus, one of the world's most unusual animals, boasts not only one but 2 surprising superpowers. Firstly, it possesses the ability to detect electric fields generated by the movements and heartbeats of its prey, using specialist electroreceptors in its bill. Oh, that's the pay from still.
Mm-hmm.
Secondly, male platypuses are equipped with venomous spurs in their hind legs, which they can use to deliver painful stings to potential predators or rivals.
I got more. I got obsessed with platypuses. I also thought it was platypi, but it's platypuses, I think. But no, so when they first discovered them, and they back in the 19th century, back then, if you found anything, you sent it back to London to be studied, right? That was what you did. So they sent back, there was a dead one, they dried it out, and they sent it back to be studied. So they got it, and they were like, oh, he's just bodged together a bunch of animals. They thought it was, they didn't believe it was a real animal. So for years, it was in the Natural History Museum, and they were just like, yeah, that's bullshit, that's just a joke. They literally wrote it off. It was years later, he was like, no, that's genuinely a real animal. It's only when they saw a second one, they were like, oh, really? Because it looked like he bunged a duck's head on a badger's body and just stuck some random bullshit together. No one believed it was real. And they're the only mammal that lays eggs.
Yeah, they needed the egg things.
I just think that just like this like nothing has developed quite the way the platypus has, and clearly it works. They're doing good, but it's just what a funky animal. It's so weird. And have you seen a baby platypus?
Yeah.
They're the cutest things in the world.
I think that's why I was so fixated when you see the baby platypus. Is that they're so cute.
Yeah,
Plus,
it's shockingly cute. You're like, oh.
Yeah. But then, knowing you're going to grow up, you're going to kick venom into people.
Yeah, only if they're trying to eat them. I mean, it's not like, and it won't kill you. Just to give you a little bit of a sting. It's like maybe don't try to leave them alone.
Yeah.
It's like if you had pet bees. Don't piss off your bees. Just don't piss off your platypus. It's the same result. You're just getting stung.
Yeah.
Don't be a bitch. You know, like it's sometimes you're playing with fire, you're gonna get burnt. You know, you're playing platypuses, you're gonna get stung. It's just the way the world is. Okay?
That should be the way that expression is now eternally around the whole world. You're playing with fire, you're gonna get burnt. No, fuck that.
What?
You play with platypuses, you're gonna get.
Here's the thing. So when we do these podcasts, I record them, my laptop.
Yeah.
I upload them to Spotify. They're the ones that host us, and then it gets propagated to all the other fine podcast propagation systems like Apple Podcasts and Google Podcasts, YouTube Play, or YouTube Audio, whatever the fuck, right? They're all over the place, right?
Yeah.
Now, but Apple Podcasts, it's quite fun. They create an entire script of they work out everything we say, and it's pretty bloody accurate. Like, it's shockingly accurate. They use AI to work out what we're saying, and then they put a transcript of all the podcasts. So every podcast we've ever done, everything we've ever said is out there in text format in the internet. It's out there, and the hosting is open ended, so that'll be there probably forever, and it'll just be out there. So you know, like the I feel like everything that you've done digitally that's out there in the world, in the centuries and centuries down the road, that will be the sort of, you know, you'll be part of the digital zeitgeist, part of the amalgam of all digital things that have gone on the internet. It will be different because of the things we did, and the things we said will be there. They'll be writ in black and white, and we'll be part of that. So our bullshit, our nonsense, the things we have said, I'm saying in some small way they do matter.
I want to see how that's going to be transcripted.
Go for it, Google. Do what you can with that.
Do your best.
Hashtag blessed. Okay, so my next one is Lord Byron.
Mm.
Now, Lord Byron was a fairly famous 19th century shagger and poet. He was the leader of the Romantic movement, which was, I mean, again, he just did lots of fucking. But he was a smooth bastard, right? A lover at heart. He had nothing but affairs. In his numerous affairs that fueled his odd hobby, right? He used to love collecting the pubic hair of his lovers.
Wow.
So he didn't just put notches in the bedpost, he collected their pubes. This was back in the pubing times, you know. It was just before the days we live in today. Pubic days are past. But back then, everyone was Busch Gardens. Everyone was walking around with a full furnace down there. And
so you're looking to re-replicate like a ex-past lover's merkin?
He made like a composite merkin. All the lovers ever had. I will make one Omni Merkin. It'll be every colour under the sun, which means brown, and it'll be just. But yeah, anyway, that was his trophy. That's how he did it. So after each affair, he would take a lock of his partner's pubes, store it in a file at his publishing house. Those pubes were stored by the publishers for over 100 years after his death. So some clerk they didn't know what they were, right? They just knew, like, oh, this is stuff we've been asked to look after. So they some fucking cleric went in there and was like, what are we looking for? What the fuck? Hundreds and hundreds in some like big file, and it's all these little folders, and each one's got pubes in it. And he's like, what the fuck? It took him a long time to work it out. Apparently he had written a foreword explaining, but it was like, that was That was, yeah. So, Lord Byron, famous shagger, bit of a weirdo. I mean, I don't know, he was famous in the day for just being like ladies of the time would be like, they would be out to get him. He was like...
Did you say like an artist as well?
Oh yeah, no, he was a poet,
Yeah.
but he was, you know, one of these guys who's like, he's so romantic, he's so romantic, oh, he's so romantic, you know, because you know, he's saying all the right thing. He's worked out back then, because, you know, it was a different time. Women weren't so cynical, men weren't so cynical, but, you know, like, he'd go in there, he'd learn what combination of words to say in what order to just drop those panties, right, and it just worked, and it worked over and over again, and even knowing that that's what he was doing, they were all about it. And I think these days, I'd hope people are a little bit more like, oh, he's just a, you know, he's a fuckboy. He's a fuckboy. Now there's a name for it. They didn't have the term fuckboy back then.
No.
And, you know, he was that. And, I mean, he was literally collecting pubes. I feel like nowadays, right, if someone was going around banging away and then and it got found out that he was storing everyone's pubes with pip, he's getting cancelled.
Yeah.
He's getting cancelled hard, right? That's the new Woody Allen. That's you know, that's the new Louis C.K. That's just what's happening. But anyway,
when you say about the keeping of the hair, though,
yeah,
just reminds me when I had my ponytail cut off, and I kept my ponytail at home, cable tied to a stick, and I had it on a shelf. And when Katie and I were first going out. Once, and we were sort of staying together when I was living with my brother, and it was like the middle of the night or something, or early morning, and Katie put her hand up onto the shelf. She thought there was a mouse. Says, "Wow, what's going on there?" It was my ponytail, and I kept that for years, and then I had to get rid of it because what's the point of having it? I mean, Katie told me for years, get rid of it. And I was like, no. In all fairness, in good course to her, she never said either it goes or I go.
No, well, she shouldn't have had to, but
no, I know. But yeah, so he ended up going. But yeah, ponytail on a stick. Yeah, legacy.
You crazy.
Would you like to know about the pangolins? So again, this is quite a cool superpower. Pangolins are unique amongst mammals as they are covered in scaled armour.
Yeah, they're really cool.
When threatened, they can curl up into a tight ball to protect themselves. The Indian chameleons can change colours rapidly. So they were the two sort of animals that were sort of linked together when I was looking this fact up. And so the pangolins, when you look at them, honestly, they look like a Pokemon character.
I know, they're really cool.
Yeah.
It was after the COVID thing, wasn't it? It was something to do with pangolins. There was at one point there was a rumour that it was derived from pangolins, but yeah, they got horribly killed after that. They killed loads of them. It's like, oh, you fuckers, bloody Chinese bastards. Anyway,
yeah. So they actually had their own shell. They were awesome. They could transform, that sort of stuff, and obviously linked with it, chameleons. They can hide. Where are they gone? I don't know. Chameleon, gone. I've got 2 more left.
go on. I've got a bunch of little ones I can read out. So just do your 2. We'll do one. I'll do a few, and then you do another one. I'll do a few more. Okay.
The immortal jellyfish, or Torrance the Pissy, Dohrnii.
Turritopsis domi.
That's the one. Thank you, Google Translate. The
Turritopsis domi.
the Turritopsis
Would you
domi.
like to play a game with jellyfish?
No. Also known as the immortal jellyfish. I prefer that name.
The immortal jellyfish is a cracking name. Do they live forever then? Is that what you're getting at?
Well, it possesses the remarkable ability to revert to its juvenile form. This is the bit that, because I thought, oh, what's it going to do? Something happens, grow back a limb, all that sort of stuff. But it's the way it does it. So it possesses the remarkable ability to revert to its juvenile form after reaching sexual maturity. When faced with environmental stress, predatory or injury, this jellyfish undergoes a process called transdifferentiation, transforming its adult cells into earlier development stages. This allows the jellyfish to effectively cheat death and start a new life cycle anew, making it theoretically immortal. So it can change its current cells from, oh, I'm old, I want to be young. So it keeps rejuvenating itself.
Mm.
And it's like, dude, that's pretty impressive. So let's say in theory, it can live forever. It might be one of those like never-ending batteries sort of job.
Living, it's like keep going and keep going and keep going to multiples eats them, and you're like, oh, you bastard! I had a clear run to eternity, and you just like gobbled me up. It's like, I'm a stinker, I am. I'm an 8-legged bastard, just flopping around.
Immortal jellyfish.
Okay.
Cool.
I'll do. I've got a few little ones. Easy now. Stonewall Jackson was an icon of Southern heroism and commitment during the Civil War. He was on the bad side, but still, historians consider him one of the most gifted tactical commanders of the US history. But here's how he's mental. He believed his arms were of unequal length, and he would constantly raise the longer one in the air to balance out his circulation. It was his arm that caused his death. He was shot in the left arm by friendly fire, and the arm was amputated. We don't know if the arm. We don't know whether the arm he kept was raised, but it seemed likely. Jackson died just a few days later from sepsis.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah. So the arm was given a full Christian burial and had its own gravestone to this day. So he just kept holding his arm up, and he just caught a bullet in it. So what else? There's this.
Oh, sorry. Excuse me. Hiccups.
We've got a little one. Jean-Jacques Rousseau. Rousseau is a famous philosopher. He's one of the most. Rousseau is one of the most famous philosophers of all time. He was one of the most popular philosophers during the period of the French Revolution, and he was interred as a national hero in the Pantheon in Paris. Right. According to his memoirs, he fucking loved, and talked about at length being spanked.
Oh.
He used to put his pants down in the road and chase women around, arse first, trying to get them to spank him. He was known for it.
Is that with music in the background?
It was probably on the lute or something, but yeah, it was.
Oh no, yeah.
Anyway, one more. Isaac Newton. Okay, so Isaac Newton was, probably thought of as one of the biggest geniuses ever. Right? He, considering what he discovered, what he laid down, they are the cornerstones of modern day physics. At a time when loads of stuff was unknown, he just locked loads in, more than any one person ever did. He's highly, highly revered for groundbreaking discoveries in the areas of gravity, calculus, optics, among many other scientific pursuits. However, he was mental because he was also obsessed with alchemy, and he always said that was his true passion. He did a bunch of other things. Some of the stuff he did just to show off to other people how smart he was. A few of the discoveries which we still use today as a basis for a lot of modern science were just things he did because he knew other people had done it wrong, and he wanted to fuck them over. He was just a spiteful cunt. But alchemy was his true passion. He devoted a vast amount of time and money trying to create a philosopher's stone, which is believed could transmute other metals into gold and grant humans immortality. Now, obviously, that's mental. But given the guy said such like this scientific, it seems like certain people have this like, there's a whole religion called Christian Scientists, which is like there's lots of famous big famous scientists who are like, they have these fundamentalist Christian views on things or beliefs, but they also are like these really like wise scientists. I'm like, that seems at odds, because how can you think the Earth's 6,000 years old when you're I don't know, you understand science to that degree, because you can see that it's not. Like, it should be self-evident. And it seems like there's, with certain people, like even these crazy smart people, they have this little box of wibble in the back of their head where they can be like, I can understand how the universe works. He understood about like Earth's rotation. He created lenses for like telescopes and he saw things people had never seen before. He discovered all this crazy shit. He understood how gravity worked, and yet he's like, you could turn that shit into gold. Oh, I'm gonna be so rich. And it's like, mate, you are rich. You know, he was, and he was just obsessed with it. So that was, yeah, it's a weird one. Anyway, go on, do your last thing.
So my last one, the electric eel, shocking predators and their prey. So this one's standard. The electric eel, native to South America, possesses the astonishing ability to generate electric shocks of up to 860 volts, making it one of the most powerful natural electrogenetic animals on Earth. These eels use their electric powers for hunting and self-defense, stunning their prey and warding off predators. Researchers are studying the electric eel's unique biology and developing new techniques inspired by their natural electrical generational abilities. The thing that amazes me with these ones, yes, they've got superpower, they've got electricity flying out of them, whatever.
Yeah.
But like, how can you do that? I think it's when they're doing like the studies. Is how can you have that sort of? That's like saying, I'm a battery. I'm gonna fraz you. Bzz, 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 that. Mate, eels. They do scare me. Things like that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't cuddle one.
No.
No.
Oh, you bastard.
I'm sorry.
It's not a cuddle.
If we've got any eel listeners, I'm sorry. But
I don't think we have any eels that listen.
No?
I don't think they've got ears, have they? They certainly can't operate a fucking podcast app, can they?
No. They can charge it.
That's very good. Might ram one in the back of my remote. Keep it going somewhere. Alright, I've got a couple of little ones,
Right.
and then we'll call it, yeah?
Cool.
Martin Luther, alright, the founder of the Lutheran Church, famously banged some no, that's Cromwell, isn't it? Let's get mixed up. But anyway, he was the founder of the Lutheran Church. He taught that salvation is a free gift from the loving God rather than something that must be earned, which was at odds with the Catholic original sin concept. So a lot of modern day Protestants and Baptists and all that stuff, they all owe their, him down to him, right? So in the religious history, he was a significant fella, and he started to cut away at the Catholic Church's stranglehold on everyone through religion. So that's a good thing that he did that, right? However, on the flippy side, he did eat a spoonful of his own shit.
Oh.
Every day.
Whoa.
Luther said that he couldn't understand the generosity of a God who freely gave such important and useful remedies. He thought it was medically helpful to him to do that.
No.
Yep.
But what's the health benefits?
Well, he was just... Well, there isn't. It's poo. It's literally waste.
Oh, dear.
Lyndon Johnson, the 36th US president. He won the presidency with 61% of the vote and had the widest popular margin of American history. He was more popular in proportion to the overall votes than anyone before or since. But he loved to show people his dick. Just loved whipping it out. Apparently he had a full-on hog on him as well, right? But he would urinate in public whenever the urge struck him, and if anyone confronted him about it, he'd whip his dick out and say, "Have you ever seen anything bigger than this?" He would tell everyone about his dick. He would, if anyone criticised him for it, he'd be like, "Well, why would I hide this?" And he'd whip it out. He didn't give a fuck. He did it in his office all the time. He would walk around with his dick hanging out after going to the toilet and pretend like he forgot to put it away. He just, very, very proud of himself. John Quincy Adams was the 6th president of the United States. Seems like a lot of presidents are fucking mental. So, I mean, read into that what you mean. So he was the 6th president. He was celebrated diplomat, one of the authors of the Monroe Doctrine, and a vocal opponent of slavery. A lot of the things that made America what it is today were set up by him and people who came before and after. But so an important guy, a stern leader. Looked like how I'd imagine Ebenezer Scrooge was actually supposed to look, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he also believed in mole people.
Oh, wow.
He greenlit an expedition to travel to the centre of the earth to establish diplomatic relations with the mole people living there. The trip never happened because
really?
he'd been voted out of office before it could have been planned. It was in the offing, then he got voted out, and then they were like, fuck off. But yeah, he was going to send a trip of people to the centre of the earth to negotiate with the mole people. Full on bibble, right? I mean, crazy. And I'll do one more. Howard Hughes. Now, do you know who Howard Hughes is?
I've heard the name.
There was the movie The Aviator with Caprio and Kate Blanchett, and I think who else was in it. But yeah, it was a good film. It's a good film. And also, more importantly, it was very well parodied by The Simpsons when Mr. Burns starts living in his casino.
Oh,
he goes fully mental.
The Spruce Moose.
The Spruce Moose, right? So he was an American business tycoon, investor, aviator, engineer, inventor, filmmaker, philanthropist. He was linked romantically to Betty Davis, Ava Gardner, Katharine Hepburn, Ginger Rogers. Basically every hot piece of his age he had a piece of. He was Tony Stark, right? He was banging everything, he was creating everything, he was doing all the things you said you couldn't do, he did it all. If you combined with like Elon Musk with Brad Pitt, right? If Elon Musk had charisma and was sexy all of a sudden, right? That's what this guy was, right? So in 1947, Hughes refused to leave his screening room for 4 months after making a film. So as he's screening it, he's filming it, he's showing it over and over again, keeps making edits, keeps watching it again. He living entirely on milk, chocolate and chicken, and relieving himself in the empty containers, having them taken out of the room. He started living in his room, he wouldn't leave. He started storing all of his nail clippings, urine, faeces, he stored it all. At the time of his death from kidney failure, his hair and fingernails had grown out of control. His weight had gone down to 90 pounds or 47 kilos.
Yeah.
He I mean, arguably he had some sort of psychotic break.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's one of these guys you like Mozart or something, where you're like, yeah, he lived hard and fast, and then it all fell off the fucking cliff. Just it went.
Yeah.
Sad panda. He's a sad panda.
Yeah.
But there you go. Yeah. Bunch of mentals.
Dude.
Well done. Got through another one. We did it.
Yes.
And I expect your leg to be better for next week.
Oh, don't. Honestly, I think. Well, I've just been. I wish this leg has let me up a little bit, and I could have put a bit more time in doing stuff. And next week podcast though is 20.
20. We've got to do it.
So not only is that going to be awesome, it's going to be amazing. Subjects.
What are we talking about for 20? What's an important thing to talk about for 20?
Everything. Best of.
So just. Oh, I'll tell you what, each bring 10 facts. What, do this choice. Do what you want. Tell me 10 interesting things.
Okay.
I'll do the same.
Cool.
Shake on
it. Done.
Nice. Done. Okay. Wherever you are, have a good night. No.
Night.
Love you. Bye.
Next week, 20. Yay!